Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Arden of Faversham, and we get to hear from Greene today, whose first name is Richard, which often gets shortened to Dick. So we get to hear from Dick Greene today in Act 1, Scene 1, which is very, very long. It's almost a play unto itself because so much has happened. We have a love triangle, and in both cases there was almost a falling out, and then there was a reconciliation, and then the two men who are in love with the same woman, one of whom is married to her, got into a little thing, and then they decided to resolve all of their stuff, and the one who's actually cheating with the wife told the husband that no, he won't try to get with her anymore. He wasn't there for that. He just wanted to talk about land holdings and that sort of thing. And then there was an attempted poison, and we now know that there's a kind of poison that you can put into oil paint so that paintings become deadly, but the poison that you put in soup is completely ineffectual. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of a play. But most recently we had Alice and Mosby talking, very upset that the poison that they had put into Arden's soup didn't actually kill him. And Alice has a little bit, she's like, that's okay. My husband's gone to London now, so we can be together at least as long as he's gone. And Mosby's like, no, actually I promised him that I shouldn't do that, I wouldn't try to court you anymore. I swore an oath. And she's like, yes, but oaths are just words, which is wind, which just blows away and changes all the time. So it doesn't matter if you break an oath. And he's like, yeah, no, good point, but I'm gonna keep this one. And she's like, all right, well, we'll maybe get a hitman in London to take care of this whole thing. But then Greene starts to enter. And Mosby's like, who's that? And she's like, oh, you got to get out of here. So Mosby leaves, and Greene comes in, and he's like, hi, I was actually looking for your husband. Is he around? And she's like, no, he's gone. And he's like, well, maybe that's okay. Maybe you can help me with what it was that I came to see him about. And she's like, sure, what's up? And Greene says, pardon me, Mistress Arden, I must speak, for I am touched. Your husband doth me wrong, to wring me from the little land I have. My living is my life, and only that resteth remainder of my portion. Desire of wealth is endless in his mind, and he is greedy, gaping still for gain. Nor cares he, though young gentlemen do beg, so he may scrape and hoard up in his pouch. But, seeing he hath ta'en my lands, I'll value life as careless as he is careful forget. And tell him this from me, I'll be revenged. And so as he shall wish the abbey lands had rested still within their former state. So if you remember at the very beginning of the play, the very first thing that Franklin said to Arden was, hey, you've inherited all of the lands of the Abbey of Faversham. Well, this new proclamation meant that anybody who owned any of those lands before now doesn't. And Greene is one of those people. He had owned part of the land that is, within the Abbey of Faversham. And he has a farm there, is, taking care of business, eking out a living, that kind of thing. And he has heard that all of those lands have now been given to Arden. So he showed up to take this up with Arden and be like, wait, is this real? All of a sudden the land that was mine is now yours? But of course Arden's not there. So he shares it with Mistress Arden instead, saying, this isn't cool. I know that these new documents that you have are signed and sealed and official and all that kind of thing, but that's not cool to kick somebody off their land. And since your husband only seems interested in growing wealth for himself, I'm not interested in playing nice here. So I'm going to get back at him for taking away my land and my livelihood. And Alice, who we've already seen in this scene, can be a bit of a drama queen, or at least turn that on for show when she wants to. She comes back to Greene with if only you knew what it was like living with him. It's, yeah, you think you have it bad? And Greene's like, what are you talking about? So of course she has to respond with what she means, and she has to respond with a monologue. on what she means. So that monologue we will see tomorrow. I'll see you then. Mwah.